Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo doff thy name, and for that name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I remember that it was something that was always made out to be, as a studious person, you have to study Romeo and Juliet. And when I finally got to the text, I thought that it was incredibly plain and overhyped for me, actually.
Romeo and Juliet is one of those things that you kind of look forward to learning all throughout your life. You just always hear about it. And when I finally got there, it was just so, the way it was taught was just so ridiculously boring. And it just kind of ruined it for me.
Regardless of age or grade, reading Shakespeare has always been a daunting challenge for high school students. Many current teaching methods are no longer adequate when it comes to educating the general student body. Our conservatory saw an opportunity to innovate, and LATW granted us permission to experiment with their app.
The fact that you get to hear like amazing classically trained actors like read it, and their voices are just amazing. The acting's all there. You can hear breathing between the pauses, and it's really incredible. And I really feel like they're keeping the tradition of Shakespeare alive, and it's more fun than just like reading it in like the classroom.
We designed lessons for the LA TheaterWorks app that provide a ready-to-use curriculum. This means that when teachers use the LA TheaterWorks app, they can have access to appropriate activities that supplement the readings, which are all contained on the iPad. With the use of Apple's iBooks, we designed rich, immersive, student-friendly curriculum that incorporates the wealth of knowledge available on the internet. It allows students to interact with content in ways that were unimaginable a couple years ago.
Before we dove too deep into solidifying the curriculum, we wanted to gather some feedback on both the learning outcomes so far and the app itself. We received feedback from open student surveys and teacher responses, and an overwhelming majority of students found that the app and the iBook made it easier to understand the play. Because this curriculum was built by students for students, it has been developed to appeal to their interests. The enticing ethical debates, connections to current events, and interactive activities in our curriculum help students to become more involved and connected to the text.